Making three main projects for this year. And after coronavirus hit Mexico, we are still suffering from the economic collapse of the system. And our current government is actually failing pretty badly on taking on this crisis. So I do hold very little power on the Ok, ya está grabando. And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about making three main projects for this year. Three main projects for this year. And after coronavirus hit Mexico, we are still suffering from the economic collapse of the system. And our current government is actually failing pretty badly on taking on this crisis. So I do. And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about making three main. Welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about making three main projects for this year. And after coronavirus hit Mexico, we are still suffering from the economic collapse of the system. And our current government is actually failing pretty badly on taking on this crisis. So I do hold very little power on the overall happenings of the world, so I just decided that uh, I'm just going to continue as I was going to do anyway, and I'm going to be creating projects for the web now. Um, since I do have some experience around these 11 years working as a database administrator, I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe you can just learn.
Uy, creí que ya tenía el micrófono y se me olvidó que no. Bueno, de todas formas, se trabó la computadora donde estaba haciendo la edición. ¿Quién sabe qué pasó ahí? De todas formas, ya tengo yo los audios y ya tengo los clips. Yo creo que para acelerar esto, porque me voy al trabajo dentro de 2 horas, me parece. Yo creo que voy a necesitar, pues acelerar esto. A ver. Mm, Ay, no me digas que se perdió todo. No, ahí estoy. Creo que sí guardó. Ok. Lo que no estoy tan seguro es si guardó. A ver, la sesión. No, ya valió que eso. Bueno, no importa. A ver, videos. YouTube. Jorge Escobar. 81, 81, ok, este es el primero. No nos hagamos tontos. Empecemos a borrar. Pues no es lo que yo pensaba. Ver agrupados. Ahí está. Ahora, no sé qué tan grande es este tramo, pero ahorita vemos. Dice que termina en... Ahí está, en 15091. Ok. No escucho nada, güey. Pero creo que eso tiene que ver con el hecho de que reinicié, ¿verdad? A ver, sonido, sí. Probablemente este sea el problema.
Front, right.
El cómo proceso mi audio. A ver, ahí está. A ver. No, no escucho nada. Vamos a ver. No se oye nada. Voy a hacer un experimento. Ok, eso sí se escucha. ¿Por qué tú no? Tú eres audio, ¿no? ¿Por qué no te oyes? A ver. Ahí va de nuevo. Ah, ok. Display waveform. Ok. Ok, a ver. Y aún así no escucho nada, güey. ¿Qué será? A ver, salvar. Lo voy a cerrar y voy a seleccionar esto. Pero
Voy a
esto
agregar
qué
un
es efecto que se llama normalizar. Se oye bien aquí, de hecho, el audio. Ok, ¿ahora qué? YouTube. Jorge Escobar. Ok, tengo los audios. Tengo los videos. Está siendo más complicado esto de lo que esperaba. A ver. ¿Quién sabe qué pasó ahí, güey? Ok. Hasta ahí voy bien.
And after coronavirus hit Mexico, we are still suffering.
Ok, veo que sí. Vamos a ver.
And welcome back to the Learn to
Ok, este es un corte. Los agrupamos. Ahí está ya. Control salvar.
and is actually failing pretty badly on taking on this crisis. So
Debí haber acomodado la cámara mejor, de hecho.
power on the overall happenings of the world. So I just decided that I'm just going to continue as I was going to do anyway, and I'm going to be creating projects for the web now. Since I do have some experience around these 11 years working as a database administrator, I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe you can just learn web development, connect to a database, and use a web page as a front end for that database, and maybe build projects that way. Well, so I do have in my sights three main things that I want to achieve before starting today.
Ok, antes de continuar, yo creo que lo que sí voy a hacer es elegir dónde va a caer el video. En Blender. Ah, no. Aquí está. Oh, creo que tenía yo una carpeta de resultados. Voy a ver. No. Lo voy a dejar en la carpeta donde está todo. Pues ya ahí. Aceptar. Pero tú te vas a llamar. Ok, así te vas a llamar.
And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about making 3 main projects for this year. And after coronavirus hit Mexico, we are still suffering from the economic collapse of the system. And our current government is actually failing pretty badly on taking on this crisis. So
Ujú.
I do hold very little power on the overall happenings of the world. So I just decided that I'm just going to continue as I was going to do anyway, and I'm going to be creating projects for the web now. Since I do have some experience around these 11 years working as a database administrator, I thought to myself,
Okay.
well, you know what? Maybe you can just learn web development, connect to a database, and use a web page as a front end for that database, and maybe build projects that way. Well, so I do have in my sights 3 main things that I want to achieve before starting today to the next year of today, I guess. And I want to build 3 different things. The first one will be an elementary school, and I want to build 3.
Ok, un poquito por atrás. Así que aquí va a ser la primera parte. Voy a hacer un corte. Pero ya no voy a mover nada, más hice el corte para yo guiarme, que este va a ser mi primera sección. Ok, sigamos.
And I want to build 3 different things. The first one will be an elementary school management system, which is basically what what the title implies. I am currently working on a preschool as a janitor and as a watchman, and I'm doubling the shift right now. So I'm sleeping here. Oh, okay. I'm sleeping here, and at the same time, I'm doing my duties as a janitor here and keeping watch of the school during the night. And I do have a lot of free time here after my duties are done of cleaning the place. So I decided to focus my learning into Node.js because that's pretty much where most of the work is going to land anyway. Programming in JavaScript for the Node platform. And I was thinking, you know what, since I already working here on this company and making this place a little better by cleaning and etc. And I already created their website, and although it's quite an static website, it's not dynamic with Node.js or anything. I think that I can translate that website into something more dynamic, building with Node.js. And I was thinking, well, you know what? 2 main objectives can be achieved on the website. One, besides giving information, will be to allow the parents to make their monthly payments of tuition payments into the school account maybe, and I can just create a form somewhere, maybe allow them to have an account for the parents so they can just log in and make payments online. And I do know that there is a company called Stripe that basically just focus on processing payments for websites. And I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should implement that into the project.
Okay.
That way, the website may not be just this glorified billboard on the internet. I can actually make this website a usable thing to gather money from the parents and keep a record on a database, obviously, of the payments of such parents and keep them accounts, etc. A variation of that one will be.
Ok, aquí voy a hacer otro corte, porque aquí habla de lo que quiero hacer en el sitio web.
A variation of that one
Me
would
pregunto si puedo exportar estos clips de audio como
I was
audios ya separados.
creating a grading system for the kids here. Since right now the school is for preschoolers only, and basically babies and then 5-year or less kids. Yet the school is in the process of moving into elementary school system, so they are going to be teaching elementary school level kids. So those are required now to get grades, because here in Mexico, preschool doesn't require grading, but elementary school does. So my plan is to create this grading system, or may I say, well, the grading system already exists. Starting with that, and maybe find different roles to those users. To pretty much my first project, and starting actually with a little blog for the website. To addition is requiring creators to create articles related to the school and the learning process of the kids. Maybe allow them to create articles on the website.
Voy a ver si ahí.
And that's pretty much my first project. And
Okay. That's the end of the first project. Aquí hay otro bloquecito.
a lot of things that I've been learning on lately on Node.js is that there are a lot of common things that are pretty much common on every single website on Node.js. For example, authentication. You may like to have a system to authenticate users, to create users, to assign different roles to those users, to allow them to have access and being blocked from certain aspects of the website. And basic authentication and advanced authentication and roles. And that's pretty much one thing, authentication, that you can bring to a lot of different websites. Another thing that I've been learning is how to manage exceptions and errors on your software. Not necessarily that your software needs to crash once it encounters an error or a mistake from the part of the user. An error must not necessarily be catastrophic in the sense of, you know what, the app just crashed.
Creo que esto es lo que aprendí.
More in the venue of, you know what, the system just encountered this error, maybe from the part of the user, maybe the database is not a natural school website, and to the owners of this school. That's my first project.
Okay.
Owners of the school. That's my first project.
Ok, y ahí lo corto. Acá. Y ¿dónde estoy? Aquí. 14.36.9. Ahí está ya. Ok. Ok. Yo creo que esto va a ser un video en YouTube, güey. Porque si no va a ser demasiado largo. Ok, vamos a hacer esto. Y aparte ya son las 4:18. No creo que me dé tiempo de hacer lo demás. Pero es muy bueno para empezar el día de hoy con un video cortito. Y ya eso sería todo, creo. Voy a hacer esto y los otros pueden ser 4 videos aparte, ¿eh? Otros 3 videos. Sí, no me va a tomar mucho tiempo hacer Tal, no es lo mejor que puedo hacer ahorita, pero pues bueno. Ya me tengo que ir preparando para ir al trabajo, de hecho. ¿Por qué está manchado esto? Bueno, ya. Ok. Trino.js projects. Ok. Ok. En output, antes de nada, tiene que ser así. Y ahora sí ya sale encoding. Matroska. High quality. Real time, no sé qué quiere decir. Esto tiene que ser la mitad, son 30, son 15. Max B-frame son 2, porque YouTube dice. Audio. AC. Volumen, no me acuerdo aquí, creo que 128 está bien ya. O 128, ¿no? Creo que era 128 para el podcast, no estoy seguro, güey. A ver. Ujú. Ok. ¿Qué pasó? Aquí está. 128 kilobits. Ok. Entonces 128 está bien. Y creo que eso sería todo. A ver, render animation. Ok. Ahí va. Va rápido, ¿eh? No está tardando mucho. Lo que sí puedo ir haciendo mientras esto avanza es ver dónde en cero empieza este. ¿Por qué menos 500 y fracción, güey? ¿Quién sabe? Debería empezar en uno, ¿no? Lo que pasa es que como lo corté y lo borré, no moví todo lo demás, entonces ese puede ser el grave problema aquí. Lo voy a detener. ¿Puedo detener esto? Ah, sí, sí puedo. Ok. Entonces, puedo elegir todo esto, agruparlo, decirle que solo en las X. Quiero ver si puedo. Quiero ver si puedo llevarlo hasta cero. Yo creo que sí, ¿no? Lo voy a tener que hacer así. No, sí se puede. Ahí está, ahora sí.
Website, and although it's quite.
A ver, ahí va de nuevo.
And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. And welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast.
¿Mm? ¿Qué pasó? Ah, gracias. ¿Mm? Hola, hola, mamá. ¿Mm? Me están viendo. Creo. Bueno, no sé, creo que nadie me ve. Sí. No, mi virginidad, déjala en paz. Ches. No, estoy editando un video online. Estoy editando video mientras transmito video. En el video se ve cómo hago el video. Todo se regresa. Ujú. Pues a ver.
Today I'm going to be talking about making 3 main projects for this year.
Ujú. Ok, pues yo creo que eso sería, pero lo que sí quiero.
After
Quiero ver. Ok, este tramo. Ok, vamos a abrir un documento de texto y cero intro. Así lo vamos a... Es texto. Pero el siguiente clip, ¿dónde empieza? El siguiente clip inicia en 18 segundos. 0:18. ¿Y de qué hablo ahí? Ya se me olvidó.
and I want to build 3 different things. The first one will be an elementary school management system.
Ok. Ok. ¿Qué más? Esto ya lo hice, ya lo escuché. Entonces lo único que necesito es...
A variation of that one will be, or in addition, or alternatively, I was thinking about creating a grading system for the kids here.
Ok, grading system. ¿En qué tiempo empieza esto? Otra vez, 18, no puede ser. Esto no puede ser, güey. No puede ser que los dos empiecen en el mismo. No, güey, mira. Bueno, aquí es 3:54. No sé por qué aquí me dice... No puede ser. A ver. Este empieza en 0 y termina por acá, ¿no? Por acá. En 1:18. Pero dice que esto empieza en el segundo 18. Imposible. Y 1:17. Ok. Este. Dice que termina en... Ok, 1:18 le voy a poner aquí porque no me sabe decir cuándo empieza. Ok. Entonces, 1:18 empezaría este, ok. El que sigue sería 1:18. A ver, sería en videos, que ahí es donde estoy haciendo todo. YouTube, Jorge Escobar, timestamps. Ok. Ahora, eso es... ah, ahí está ya. Timestamp TXT. Ok, ahora tiene una duración de 2 minutos 37 y termina en 3:54. Entonces, en el minuto 3:55 hay espacio y aquí empieza el... eh, Ok, ahora este termina en...
And I want to build 3 different things. The first one would
Ok, ese es primer clip.
be a grading system for the kids here.
Este es el de grading system. No me dice a qué empieza, pero creo que sí me está diciendo correctamente cuándo acaba. En 3:54, entonces 3:55. Entonces 3:55, ok. Ahora, este acaba en 5:42, entonces 5:43. Empieza lo que sea que viene de acá, ok.
A lot of things that I've been learning on lately on Node.js is that there are a lot of common things that are pretty much common on every single website on Node.js. For example, authentication. You may like to have a system.
Ok, esos son... Ok, y esos serían mis timestamps. Ahora sí, render animation. Y ya debería caer. Hasta acá en project 001. Y ahí va. Pues ya, voy a esperar a que acabe. Vamos a divertirnos.
Sponsored by Pirates of the Caribbean: Tides of War. If you
¿Qué?
wanted to build a
What the-
fast and the best
Oh, no manches.
battle fearsome monsters and pirates and experience it all with very adventurous and notable characters and ships, then Pirates of the Caribbean: Tides of War is the game to play.
Oh,
It
Dios.
allows you to enjoy the pirate's life. You can establish your very own fortress.
Why?
Recruit many different pirates and tacticians for your armada. You can even trade and barter for loot. Play some fun games with the dice game at Crow's Nest Inn. You can also relive some of the greatest moments of the franchise, but in a video game format. So if you guys enjoyed the pirate lifestyle and you wanted to build your own pirate world and do so with the most famous of pirates and ships, then this is it. But it's not all about just fighting pirates and ships. You can also battle some incredibly amazing mythical beasts. So there's a lot of variety. So guys, make sure to download Pirates of the Caribbean: Tides of War in the link down below. It will really support my channel and you guys will also get access to play a great game. So we all win. With that said, thank you so much Pirates of the Caribbean for sponsoring today's video. So the objective of
Okay.
this video is that I want to dive deep into the arms presentation and I kind of want to figure out how good this character is. Now, obviously, I have to preface this by saying that we will find out truly how good the character really is when the character finally comes out, but I still think it's extremely fun to speculate either way. The first thing about Min Min as a character is that she has a tremendous amount of range. I think range
obvio.
is one of those qualities that can really excel you forward. Generally, short characters or characters with range tend to be better the faster they are. The problem with Min Min is that she doesn't seem to be an extremely fast character. It's not like Cloud Speed like in Smash 4 where it made for a very obvious top tier, or just overall solid package, maybe like Melee Mars where you have the speed, the range, and then the movement. So it seems to me like they went for an overall very zoner slash campy type of playstyle. It's gonna be difficult to see how well this character does because Ultimate is a rushdown primarily based metagame.
そして強攻撃というのは内中歩く
Now, this whole thing that she can move while using attack, I think is going to be one of her biggest strengths because it means that you don't have to be overly precise. So long you're always pushing back or pushing in as soon as you see a little bit of an opening will allow you to put pretty much either
Wow.
add push
Camina mientras ataca.
be one of her core mechanics. The way I envision is that you're going to be constantly baiting out opponents by moving in and out. And then from that point in time, you'll react by angle and the move up and then you can catch people jumping. At least that's the way I envision it.
そして、ジャンプなんかもできるんですね
Ah, la onda.
普通に操作をすることができます
That'll be extremely helpful to like catch people that jump really high. For example, think like Sirius or maybe any character that has either a very jumpy type of playstyle or maybe a character that likes to get above you. I think it might actually be very helpful against characters like Pac-Man that will like to zone out in a more vertical manner. And I think this might be able to contest that at least a little bit.
スマッシュ入力というのも実はあったりします
Ok,
Now that's
supongo.
ridiculous. An aerial smash attack. I understand the
Sí, güey. Eres Smash.
attack, and I understood even doing like tiltful movement.
Yes,
and
eres Smash, güey.
Insane. See, typically the biggest disadvantage of
No
Smash Attack
mames.
is that you're on the ground, vulnerable, light.
Ajá.
The fact that you're in the air means that you're now
Sí, güey.
while doing a smash attack effectively, which means platform, you can land off stage. You can essentially make a smash attack almost unpunishable. And I think this is probably one of the most
Va a estar
open that this character will have
baneado inmediatamente, güey.
move while doing certain attacks, making them much less difficult to punish because
Jump,
people talk about
smash.
lag to determine whether or not things are punishable. But a lot of people don't realize that it's
no.
time for characters to get to her because of her range to actually punish. That essentially
Sí, no mames.
buffer time for her to be able to.
No, olvídalo.
So realistically speaking, the amount of lag that she's eventually going to have in the end is going to be lower because of the range. But now that she can do smash attacks in the air, I mean, it all goes out the window. I mean, you can't
Sí,
do
vale más.
any of that, honestly.
上シフト下シフト
No.
I personally think the downwards version is going to be strictly to catch people maybe recovering, framing, or maybe catching people that are hanging by the ledge.
Ay, no.
Upwards version is going to be used quite a bit because we want to catch people as they're jumping.
What?
They explained at some point in the direct that jumping is Min Min's biggest weakness, so we're going to definitely stick to that.
A ボタンを押します。これアームを打ちます。左アームですね。そして B ボタンを
Ajá. Ah, el B.
I love the whole concept that the A and B
Okay.
don't work in a way where she can use both.
Como brazos.
I think that
Ajá.
honestly not only brings a lot
Sí.
from the ARMS franchise, but I think it really set her apart because the controller scheme and the way she controls is fundamentally different than other characters. I don't think this is going to necessarily mean that the character is going to become complex. I think it's going to be maybe more complex on a character like Mario or something like that. But I don't think we're reaching like maybe like Rio or Ken levels where you have to learn a lot of very
Sí, no, güey.
inputs. It just more so means the character controls in a different manner.
No, no va a ser así, güey.
To get used to it, I don't think it'll be nothing overbearing.
A ボタンと B ボタンが対照的な
Now, what I'm excited is that the fact that she can both pull out these moves consecutively, which means that the opponent will either have to do a full hop or will maybe have to jump twice, or maybe will have to block two things. You basically add a layer where she can really pressure things up. I'm also interested to see how this character will fare off in a doubles front because she can throw constant hitboxes.
操作す
Sí, no
るよう
manches.
になっているんですね。
Está hiper overpower eso, güey.
It also doesn't seem like she has too much cooldown from using both. So, I mean, what says that you can't just go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 repeatedly and
Yo creo que sí, güey. Una metralleta, güey.
deal with? Like, I think if you play a slow,
Pa, 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 pa.
it'll be absolutely painful to get to Min Min and Jerry.
Sí.
まずこ
Pa, pa. Ah, pero tienen cooldown, güey. O sea, no.
That whole thing, attack behind her and in front of her is huge too.
No,
It's
está
really
overpowered.
easy, for example, if someone were to roll behind you or you are making sure that someone cannot roll behind you, means that you can essentially attack forward, cover that option in case, and then
No
just in
mames.
case of their roll. You can also cover the ledge, you can cover in front of you if they jump, and also behind you. It'll make Min Min an excellent ledge trapper naturally at that.
う上狙った後下狙うみたいなこともできうると思います。
The fact that we have flexibility, we have
Okay.
same things, how we use tilts and smash attacks, obviously adds to the cake. If the character was very one-dimensional, it could only do certain things like only tilt attacks, only smash attacks, it will not make it nearly as good. But because we have flexibility, variety, and we have the option to determine what we want to do in specific scenarios, in front of us, behind us, angle it up, angle it down, it all makes this for a very compelling character. I think at the very least, this adds potential to the character because there are options that you can at least execute on.
AB 同時押しにスマッシュ入力を設定している人というのは多いかと思うんですけれど
Sí, no
I
manches.
disabled that day one.
AB と
Sí, no, está overpower, güey.
こう立て続けに出す
Consecutive smash is going to be difficult to deal with.
No
You know how much
manches.
moves do on shield because if they do little damage,
No sé, güey.
it's no big deal. There's enough shield damage where you can break someone's shield. Like let's say you hit them with like maybe a tilt or a jab, and then you go.
Ah, está hiper mamado si rompe escudo, güey.
It could be very difficult to deal with.
直接攻撃
Oye, ¿ya terminó de render esta madre o qué pedo? Ahí va.
例えばカウンターなんかは全然食ら
I mean, that's just exhibit A of why range is important. Like the fact that you can outrange Mars or Lucina or X
Sí, güey.
with sword means that you're not gonna really struggle with swords in general because you're gonna be able to now force them to approach. But like I said, the main strength of characters and ultimate
No, no mames.
there are to approach, how they can set up combos, and the way they can set up kills as well. We don't know the kill setups of this character. They did not show all of their throws or anything like that. So
No,
good clue as to whether or not this character
ni idea.
those things cover. Like if this character finds a crazy kill confirmed, and then on top of that has like a combo throw and then a kill throw on top of that, then it's like, well, this character has a bunch of options.
ただ弱点めいたものもありまして、接近戦にはやっぱり弱いです。例えば結構簡単
Ah.
I think the most notorious part was that Marth on that second jump landed pretty close to the actual arm.
Sí, güey.
I mean that it may not have a very long lasting hitbox, which is
No.
like it may only have like an initial hitbox.
Ah,
Just
sí.
point or maybe halfway through, or maybe at the end it doesn't no longer have a hitbox.
No, solamente la punta
Hitbox, it will be
tiene hitbox y ha de ser muy chiquito, güey.
basically tune that down just to make it like overly overpowered.
空中にちょっと飛んでるだけで
No, sí está jalado eso, güey.
もちろんこの後の隙はすごく大きいですから簡単
But that's where the experience of the Minion player is going to come in clutch because, like, obviously, if your opponent is going to be jumping all around, tools to cover that. It's going to come down to how well you can cover people jumping.
上シフトとかを使って対空をしていかなきゃいけないんですけれどもそうそう自由に曲がるものでもないですつまり面々を使うような場合には敵が上から飛んでくるみたいなシチュエーションは比較的に
Seems to me that the arm doesn't obviously bend all the way. Like, it's not like you can do like a perfectly diagonal or something.
No, güey.
That's why he's full hopping in this angle, meaning that full hop is going to be Minmin's worst
A la onda.
advantage because if you come in from a specific angle, then even if you angle it up, you can't really cover her. So that means that a lot of the time you're going to be moving back and then doing the jump in one so you can at least catch people coming in like.
Cuando ya acabó el ya. Y ahora, este es el primer video. 400 megas, güey.
Go podcast.
What?
Today I'm going to be talking about making
Wait, what?
Go podcast.
¿Qué? What the fuck?
About making 3 main projects for this year. And after
No, y aparte se me cabe. Algo pasó ahí. Tal vez lo voy a renderear. Ah, espera un momento. Está como mal cortado esto, ¿verdad? A ver. No. Inicio. A ver.
and welcome back to the Learn to
Ajá, ¿qué pasó entonces?
And welcome back to the Learn to Go podcast.
No, aquí sí lo abre bien. ¿Quién sabe? Vele anda con sus jaladas.
Go podcast.
Ajá, a ver, otra vez.
Go podcast. Go podcast.
¿Quién sabe qué tiene?
Today I'm going to be talking about making
Ah, pero creo que sí está bien, nada más es voy a hacer una carpetita aquí. Para poner ahí, pues, los renders finales de los episodios. Y ya vamos a darnos la tarea de subir una onda ahí. A ver cómo se le hace. Vamos a subirlo mientras estoy subiendo el video del stream. A ver, subir video. Seleccionar archivos. Videos. Ujú. El- Este título lo voy a mantener por ahí. Ujú. Cuéntales a los usuarios sobre el video. Creo que eso no. Creo que es con T. Mm, mm. Ahí está ya. Ok. Payment. Oh, no. Voy a copiar este intro porque está bueno. Y probablemente aquí. Pues yo creo que como se está subiendo apenas, pues no, pero lo voy a agregar al Lento Code Podcast. No, no es contenido para niños, más opciones. Learn to code. Web development. El idioma, pues sería inglés, según yo hablo inglés. No, ninguna. Hoy. Medellín de Bravo, Veracruz. Creative Commons. Pues no es videojuego, sería ciencia y tecnología. Dejar los comentarios. ¿Qué? Todos los comentarios. Sí. Creo que eso es todo. Siguiente. Siguiente. Publicar. Ya cuando se suba. Apenas está subiendo, güey. Bueno, pues yo creo que ya me